What's going on? So in this video, I'm going to show you how we get a 200x ROAS for our high ticket coaching offers. I'm a high ticket growth operator, if you want to call it that. I'm not really a fan of the name growth operator. I think it's kind of a scam. Anybody that does low ticket, actually stupid. I don't understand how you do it or why you do it. High ticket is definitely the move. You collect money. You don't make any money from low ticket. Most people don't. Some people do. Top 1% do. Not a very viable business model though. High ticket is way better. Obviously, here is our ads manager for one of our client CTAs. The budget, $50 daily. The cost per result is $1.18. So we're paying $1.18 per lead that we get. And so from that, each of those leads could be potentially worth $5,000, $10,000. So, you know, obviously we're making a good bit of money off of those leads. So here's some stats. We spent a total of $192 in the past week. We've had 60 lead forms. Actually, no, it hasn't even been the past week. It's been like, 3 or 4 days that we've run this ad. We got 20 clicks yesterday on top of this. So technically, we've probably spent a little bit more money. We've had 80 lead forms be filled out. I made this document yesterday, but in here it says 60. This is just what the stats were as of yesterday. Our average cost per click is 3.19. I added this in today. Our current cost per click is $1.18, as you can see here. Or it's not even a cost per click. It's a cost per lead. So super, super good. Our triage call process, we have 21 calls booked, 39 non-scheduled. So we obviously do triage calls. We do 2 call close. So the first call is just basically calling them up, qualifying them, making sure they're the sole decision maker, making sure they're willing and able to invest and they have some sort of money. So we do triage calls. We have 39 people who have not booked those triage calls yet that we still need to get onto it, that have kind of just been stale opportunities, stale leads. And then we've had 21 calls that have booked in. So this is over probably the course of 3-4 days, something like that, 3.5 days. And as you can see, that's pretty good. 21 calls booked on the triage process in 3 days, fairly decent. We've had 7 actual closing calls booked from this. Obviously, this is the first 3 days that we've done the ads for this client. So yeah, we've had 7 people rebook calls, meaning that they went through the triage process and they actually booked in a closing call. So 4 of those calls have already been completed. 3 of them are upcoming. Right as of right now, I think we have 10 or 12 calls booked total. 2 of those calls have already, 2 of those 4 calls here have converted into PIFs. We have a 50% close rate, and those are paid in full $5,000. So there's basically 3 factors that really matter here when it comes to being able to get this crazy ROAS that we get. There's the offer, the creator, and the ad. And I'm going to be running through all 3 of those and kind of the whole process of how we do everything here. And at the end, I'm going to give you more of a high-level overview of how we do everything as well, and kind of a flow chart of how we do everything. But coaching offer has to be compelling. If it's just like, hey, I'll coach you on how to do your fitness, nobody cares. Stupid offer, because everybody has it. It can't be commoditized. And it should be a money offer, because that's what people care about more than anything. You know, you can do this with self-mastery offers or whatever, but money offers are always going to print more. So try your best to use money offers. You also have to be the expert in what you do, or not necessarily you, but the creator. If you're a growth operator, your creator or your coach or whoever the coach is actually has to be seen as an expert. They have to be seen as someone who is actually out there doing what they're doing, and someone who's actually an expert in what they do. They need to have social proof. They need to have credibility. If you're selling a money offer and you're living in your parents' basement, you're not going to be able to do it very well. But if you're selling an opportunity where, you have a Lamborghini, part of this ad, part of the creative on the ad was that our creator was standing in front of his Lamborghini, right? So that is one of the easiest ways to boost your credibility, is to actually have some sort of social proof. Even if you just have nice pictures, if you have women around, those kind of things boost your trust and credibility and make it so much easier to book calls and to actually sell stuff, because people see the vision. You have to paint the dream outcome. You have to paint that picture of where someone is at in their life and where they want to be, right? Where they're at right now, they're in pain because they have no money, they're broke, they're poor, they're working a 9-to-5, and the dream outcome is what you actually have to paint. That's where, you paint, okay, do you want a Lamborghini? Well, join my program. Obviously, you don't do it that direct, but that's the overarching idea. Your creative needs to be good. That's the 80% in the 80-20 rule. If you know what that is, that's like the 80%. Some delicious water. All right, this is our offer. There are 4 steps in most offers, and most people should have this stuff. The real money maker here is going to be your high ticket community. this is going to be the real moneymaker, right? It's not going to be the mid ticket or the low ticket. Typically, this is going to be where you're really going to make your money, because you're going to be able to make way more money per unit sold. So you get one lead here and sell one person in at $5,000 or $10,000. That's going to make up, 10 of these leads. So as you go up this value ladder, you're going to be able to sell each unit for more money. All right, so you got to have a unique value angle. This is very, very important. I talk about this in a lot of my videos. I think it's very important. You have to be different. Your deliverables have to be something different than what everybody else does. You have to have results, right? If you don't have results, if people haven't actually gotten results, the reason that this mentorship printed money and went straight up to the moon is because it got results, right? We got crazy results. We've had people get $600,000 from this unique method in, their first month doing things. Like, we've had crazy numbers. And so if you can't get results, if you're selling drop shipping but none of your people have got results and you haven't gotten results, you need to have your results and your clients' results. And so that's kind of where most people mess up, is they can't provide a direct monetary result, right? If your result is, hey, well, you'll be happier, you're doing better off in your life and you're more fulfilled, like, nobody cares about that. They care about money. Put your mind on the money will follow. And so if you don't have a monetary result, people aren't going to buy it. So we got to also know what we actually deliver. Like, why is your coaching different? What makes this different? In our case, it was just because we had the best coaches for what we did in the world. They'd all done crazy numbers in sales. They're doing, 20, 30, even one of our guys does $50K a month with the actual method, not with coaching, but with the actual method. And that's also sets us apart, right? We're different because we had that, and because we had results helped us set us apart, and because of the influencer. So there's some solutions here. You should definitely create a positioning statement, answer who are your people, what do they need, who are you, what do you deliver, why are you special, different to the one. If you can answer those 5 questions in a positioning statement, it's going to help you out a lot from the differentiation side. I always ask people whenever I hop on a consulting call, I'm like, okay, so what makes you different than everybody else who offers the exact same thing that you do? If you're offering self-development, what makes you different in the self-development side? Or if you're offering fitness, what makes you different? If you're teaching people how to do drop shipping, why are you better than all these other people? And most of the time, people don't have an answer to that, and that's because there is no answer to it, because they are the exact same. When you offer a commoditized service and do commoditized outreach and all this stuff is just entry-level stuff, nobody's going to be able to actually visualize what you do and why it's different and why they should buy into your solution. So you have to have some sort of unique method. Deliverables as well, you got to figure out what your solution is, more than just, maybe it might just be more than coaching, right? The solution to results is obviously get calls on the board or help them make money in some way. If it's if you're targeting service-based businesses, the answer here is going to be to get calls on the board. If you're targeting, somebody doing drop shipping, you're going to need to actually make them more money than they paid you in drop shipping. And so one of the things that we have that's different in our offer is the actual guarantee on it. We have a money back guarantee on it. And so again, this is just a restatement of what I just said a few minutes ago, but high ticket is definitely the way. You get more money up front. One high ticket client is the equivalent of 100 low ticket clients. So it's much easier to get clients results doing that as well. But this is the real thing that I want to bring up on why growth operating kind of sucks, right? Here we have the ease of sale, not sell, bro. I'm losing it. Fulfillment, and then the ease of sale. Got the ease of sale versus fulfillment, right? The easier it is to fulfill on something, the harder it's going to be to sell. The harder it is to fulfill on something, the easier it's going to be to sell. So when we look at this graph here, obviously, man, I cannot draw a straight line. Oh no, I probably should grab a mouse. Obviously here we have fulfillment. So when something's hard to fulfill, if we graph it, it's going to be easy to sell. But if something is, middle of the road to fulfill, it's going to be middle of the road to sell. If something is hard to fulfill, like something with a money back guarantee, it's going to be way easier to sell. And so that's how we maintain that 50% close rate. And it's also off of inbound leads too, and off of the creator. But a lot of it is off of the fact that we have that money back guarantee. It's harder to fulfill. So, there's 2 ways to do this. And I've heard a lot of people talk about this in the past. You can either earn your way in through organic traffic, or you can buy your way in through paid traffic. And so personally, I like to get fast wins. I like to get fast wins for my clients because it gives them that time to first value, and it helps them continue to pay me and continue to see the value in my services. I want to parallel leap them over the competition, right? You're going to have to take risks. If you can take risks, you're going to make way more money long term if you're able to buy ads in the front end of it, right? So you have to buy your way in. I think that's the easiest way. And most people aren't willing to buy their way in. Most people don't actually take risks on themselves. And so the pendulum swung really hard towards paid ads a long time ago, right? Paid ads got super expensive, and it was hard to do paid ads. Why? Because everybody moved towards paid ads. Well, now there's a free way to do it. There's outreach. And so everybody is moving towards outreach, and the pendulum is swinging back. And so if you can go where the crowd is not and go to paid ads where nobody else is at, you're going to be able to make way more money because there's so much more opportunity there, because most people are not doing paid ads unless you're a big dog. And so people will perceive you as a much higher status individual if you're running ads, and will actually trust you a lot more because you're buying your way in. You have some sort of capital to invest. So real quick, let me run you through my sales process. All right, so here's the kind of sales process. I'm going to move my beautiful face up here. And then obviously I'm going to kind of walk you through this sales process. So first thing is, obviously we have to create content. That's number one, right? And this is not my sales process. This is my sales process for my clients, right? So they're going to take that content, they're going to create it, and then they're going to, obviously, the content that performs well, we're going to use it, and we're going to create ad creatives from it, right? So your ad creatives are 80% of what you do. And the reason that there's two here is because we want to split test ad creatives, right? Meaning that we should test one thing, see if it works. If it doesn't work, try something else. So for example, you might split test a story post versus a reel. You might split test sending people to the DMs versus sending people to a Facebook lead form, right? I like the lead form the best. I think that it's the easiest way to get people as of right now. If you're willing to do a little bit more work, the inefficiencies create efficiency, because when you put in more value, people value it more. So if you can take the little bit of extra effort to actually dial these people up, call them, say, hey, hope you're having the best day of your life. Just wanted to check in with you, see if you're still good for your, if you were down to hop on a triage call with creator's right-hand man, aka the closer. Obviously, we're not going to say the closer because we don't want them to know that they're getting closed. People like to buy, they don't like to be sold. But if we can get them on that call, it's going to be way easier to get them to book in another call versus just like texting them and hoping they do it. So on the Facebook lead form, there are 3 things that we need to ask for, and we only want these 3 things. A lot of people will say name and email. I like phone as well. We want name, phone, email. Now, when we're reaching out to people, a lot of people, and I've tried this out, I've split tested this as well right here. A lot of people try to go the route of just sending an automated message and go high level. And we have found that the conversion rate on these auto messages is significantly less. It's like 10% of what we get when we do iMessage voice notes, right? People don't like green messages. If you send me a green message, I promise I will not respond to you. Anybody that's out here sending green messages, sending messages from Android, you're not getting a response from me. But if someone sends me a text that's nice and crisp and blue, beautiful iMessage, I'm going to respond. I don't want to get text from a robot. People don't go to the bank and say, hey, can I talk to the robot? People go to the bank, or they don't say that, hey, can I talk to the logo? They say, hey, can I talk to a person? And so when you put out that iMessage text, people realize, oh, this is a real person who is really going to help me, right? They think, hey, this is a real person, not just some random NPC or robot in Go High Level that automated a text. It doesn't work like that, right? And so from there, I'm going to send a voice note on iMessage, or even better yet, call them. Just dial them up. If that message comes in within a second or two, probably within 2 or 3 minutes, we want to dial that number. I'm going to say, hey, hope you're having the best day of your life. Just wanted to get you connected with my man Nick, or whoever the setter is. In this case, it was Nick. Just wanted to get you connected with Nick. It's client's right-hand man, right? And just say that and say, hey, I'm going to send you over a link if it's cool with you, and you can book in a call. right? That's all you got to do for this call. This is basically just like appointment setting 101 right here. You're basically going to phone call them and then book them on another call. This is a triage call, and then book them on another call that's a closing call, and we'll get to that in a second. So we're going to obviously send them a booking link. On this booking link, this is something interesting that most people I don't think do. On this booking link is where we ask financial qualifications. So this is where we ask like how much you got saved up right now. And obviously you can split test asking and just sending the link. So here, you might ask, hey, is it cool if I send you the link? Or you might say, hey, here's the link, right? Split tested. I haven't yet, so figure any data out, let me know, hit me up on Instagram, right? Send the booking link, right? So that's here. Now, on this booking link, we're going to ask them how much money they have saved up, right? Our options, they are like radio selects. So it's, option 1, option 2, option 3. And so option 1 might be 0 to 2K. And then option 2 might be 2K to 5K. And then option 3 is 5K to 10K. And then the last option is 10K plus, right? And depending on what they select there, it's going to depend on what you actually get out of this, right? So if they select 0 to 1K, I'm going to call them up and be like, hey, was that a misclick? Just want to check in. And in theory, we want to send this booking link while we're on a call here. Obviously, I don't have this in the funnel, but if you can do this as a call, I can't type or write here, but if you can do this as a call, you're going to get a lot better results because people actually can hear your voice and hear you talking to them, right? So now that we sent the booking link, we're going to triage them in. So this is our triage process. Very, very simple. You call them up, ask them the qualifying questions, basically what you would ask on a regular sales call form or in the DMs. A triage call is basically appointment setting. You're just setting the appointment for the sales call, right? So if they're qualified, they're going to get moved to the sales call. If they're not qualified, they're going to get moved back to the content so that they can continue to consume it and continue to be nurtured, right? So either they're going to buy eventually or they'll just help you grow your content. They'll become a more engaged person in your content structure. Now, once we do that, we're going to move into the sales call, assuming they're qualified. And here, they're either going to get closed or not closed. And so if they don't close, we're going to move them again back to the content. If they do close, they're going to get onboarded. From here, we're going to get them results, which we can use in the creative, we can use it in the content, we can use it all over. Getting results is super important. This is a process most people miss. Once we get results, or even after we onboard them, we want to ask for referrals. That's going to take those people, we're going to give them a booking link if we get a referral, right? And so this is kind of our flywheel, our process on how to actually do ads, how we do all of our ads, and how we get such a good ROAS for our clients. But yeah, if there's anything else that I can help you with, just hit me up on Instagram, on social media, anywhere that you want. Just DM me and I'll be happy to help you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything you need, let me know. I got your back for life, and I'll see you later. Peace.